Hi, it's Mike again. Welcome to another video. I'm in my shop today to do a follow-up video of my Hot Wheels position start gate, and you can see it right here. In that video, it was just an overall view of the start gate and how it actually functions. Some of you had commented that you would like to see a greater detailed video on how I actually put it together. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take it all apart. I'll break it all down. I'll show you all the parts I use to put it together, and then I'll assemble it, and then you can see how it actually goes together, and perhaps it will inspire you to make something similar as well. What I'll also do is in the description below, I'll put a link and a detailed drawing of how it put together. There's really no special pieces. All these parts you can pick up at Lowe's or at Home Depot or at your local hardware store. There's nothing really crazy that needs to be fabricated. If you need any help with anything, just let me know and I can help you source it out, or perhaps make it for you as well, because I'm well equipped to do that for you. So anyway, follow along and you can see how I make it. So these are the basic tools that I put this together. You just need a hacksaw, some screwdrivers, side cutters, just a normal file, nothing fancy. What I have also done here is I use a tap and die set. So basically it's an 8x32 tap with a number 29 drill bit and the tap handle, and all the holes were just drilled using a 3/32 drill bit, and of course a drill, a 6x1/2, 8x32 machine screw, and then 10x24, inch and a quarter, inch and a half, whatever you have to kind of make it work. And those are just the basic tools I needed to build this. And of course the wood will need to be cut, so you can actually just get that done at the lumber store if you need. Okay, so I have it all broken down into all the sections. Basically it's about 5 separate sections that go together. So the first section is the actual latch arm and the plate for it. So this is just a 1.25 inch angle, aluminum angle, and I just have 4 mounting holes so that the wood screws go in, and that mounts underneath on the bottom of the plywood. And then this latch arm here goes in here, and it's just a little pivot, and that notch there is where the actual gate rests into, and it moves back and forth like this. And this is just 3/4 inch by 1/4 inch aluminum, and that's about 5 inches long. So this goes in like that, pivots back and forth. And then what I also have here is a spring that always has it engaged. So that means it's in run, and then that's lock. So that's the first section of it. The second part of this is the actual gate portion. So it actually pivots on a piano hinge. So just a piece of piano hinge, any type of hinge would work. I like the piano hinges because it's very accurate and it doesn't have any play in it. And what I do is I match these holes up in there. So I tap them. So that sits on the bottom like that. And when it activates, it goes down. So that goes down and activates. And then the other portion of this is the actual pins that stick up through the track. And the same thing is I use machine screws, and these are threaded on the bottom, and then it goes like this. So that goes like this and it pivots down. So this is what the car would rest on. And you can make as many as you want. So this is only set up for a 2-track. You could set it for a 3 or 4-track, just make it bigger and make more of these little dowel pins that it sits on. So that's the gate portion. So the other portion of this is the actual bump stop. So this is just some anti-fatigue matting, and I just use some wood screws and some washers to hold it on. It's good to have this bump stop because when this gate is spring loaded and when it fires back, it actually can shake the track a little bit. So this deadens the motion of the gate flying open. And then the other portion of this is the set screw and the spring, and this spring holds on to the gate. So that goes in the back. If you do build a timer, and I have a video on how to build an actual Arduino based timer, you can mount this micro switch underneath it as well. So when the gate actually fires open, it rests against this and sets the timer off. So the other portion of this is the track, and this is just a normal Hot Wheels track. And what you'll have to do is, once you have the bottom and the plywood and all the pins all set up perfectly, you mark the position of where the pins go up and just cut a little groove. Now you don't want to go too wide because you want to make sure that the wheels don't impede over top of it. So you just want to make it enough so the pins go up and through. how I mount and hold the track onto the base. If you need to, you might have to drill some holes there in some small machine screws to pin it all down. Okay, so I got the underneath of the plywood base, and as you can see, I've already kind of built this, so I'm kind of reverse engineering it here. What I did first was I lined up all this and made sure that this end is overhanging a little bit, and then I just take some wood screws and I place it in. Now this is the point where you would want to measure the grooves up for the holes there, and that's just a 1/2 inch drill bit, and then I used a wood file to smooth it all out. So you want to make sure that it doesn't bind at all. So that's another one. So we'll just finish up using the wood screws. So the one thing you want to be concerned about when it flaps open, you can see how that makes that noise. This is where the bump stop comes in. I'm going to put that bump stop in there, and we'll just fasten that down. Now you can see it. And the other point of this is your spring mount. It just goes on the other side. That tension to it. That should do the trick. Okay, so that's that part. So now what we're going to do is put the latch on. So now we just take the latch assembly there. You can see how it overhangs a little bit. And we just slide this latch assembly in to place. And what I've done here is I've tapered that up there, so when you can just slides into place. And you can put some lubricant in there if you want. And we'll just put our 4 wood screws on the bottom here, and there you go. And you have to do some fine tuning. I just take a metal file and just kind of shape the latch a little bit, where it grips there. And so what I'll also do here is, this is where we're going to mount our micro switch. So this micro switch is going to be like a normally closed. So right now when the gate is closed, there's no timer running. And when you crack it open, that's how it starts. Now you don't have to include this micro switch if you don't have an actual automatic timer like I've done. So if you want, you can link to the timing video and you can try to make one of those as well. Well, there you have it. As you can see, it's relatively easy to build and it's quite functional and accurate. So what I'm going to do is put a link in the description below on a basic set of plans on how to build this. There's really no unique parts in this. All the parts I was able to obtain at my local hardware store. I'm sure you could find that too. If you have a hacksaw drill and some drill bits, I'm sure that you could assemble this as well. You know, we're not really building a rocket here. So I hope this inspires you to build something similar. Once again, thanks for watching. Oh, in case you're wondering, I don't work for NASA. My wife was at the mall, she found this, she thought I might like it, so she got it for me. As much as I like Mark Rober, I don't work for NASA. Sorry.